You wake up on a Tuesday morning, and the first thing you notice isn't the sunrise, but the sheer volume of stuff surrounding you. Your room is a graveyard of good intentions. A treadmill collecting dust in the corner, a shelf overflowing with books you promised yourself you'd read, and a closet bursting with clothes that still have the tags attached. You look at these items, and you don't feel pride. You feel a heavy, suffocating weight. Each object in your home represents a fragment of your life that you traded away. You spent hours working overtime, dealing with stressful commutes, and sacrificing your peace of mind to earn the money to buy these things. Now, they sit there, silently demanding your attention, your cleaning, and your space. You have become a custodian of your own possessions, a servant to the clutter that was supposed to make your life easier. Think back to the moment you bought that expensive watch, that designer jacket, or that high-end kitchen gadget you rarely use. At the time, the dopamine hit was intoxicating. You convinced yourself that this purchase would be the final piece of the puzzle, the missing element that would finally make you feel successful, put together, or happy. But the excitement faded within days, replaced by a lingering dissatisfaction that forced you to look for the next purchase. This is the treadmill of consumption, and it is a financial anchor dragging you down into the depths of debt and anxiety. You are essentially working to fund a lifestyle that keeps you trapped in a cycle of earning just to maintain the status quo of your material existence. When you look at your bank statement, you see the reflection of this reality. The recurring charges for subscriptions you don't use, the monthly payments on items that have already lost their luster, and the impulsive spending that seems to vanish into thin air. You aren't just losing money, you are losing your autonomy. Every dollar you spend on unnecessary clutter is a dollar you are stealing from your future self. That money could have been working for you in the form of investments, providing you with the one thing money actually can buy: freedom. Instead, you have traded your future independence for physical objects that provide zero utility and only serve to clutter your mind. This is the silent killer of wealth, lifestyle creep. As you earned more, you felt the social pressure to spend more. You bought the car with the higher payment because you felt you deserved it. You upgraded to a larger apartment because you needed the space to house all the things you were buying. You fell into the trap of believing that your net worth is defined by your net possessions. But real wealth isn't what you show the world. It's the quiet, unseen reservoir of assets you have built that allows you to walk away from a job you hate or a situation that drains your soul. You have been chasing the wrong metric, measuring your progress by how much you have accumulated rather than how much you have liberated. Consider the psychological toll of this clutter. Every item you own requires a piece of your mental bandwidth. When you are surrounded by chaos, your brain is constantly processing the visual stimuli, creating a low-level background anxiety that you might not even realize is there. This is decision fatigue in its most aggressive form. You spend so much energy deciding what to wear, what to clean, and where to put things that you have little left for the deep creative work that actually moves the needle on your personal growth. By stripping away the excess, you aren't just cleaning a room. You are decluttering your consciousness and reclaiming your focus. Minimalism is not about living in a white, empty room with one chair. That is an aesthetic, not a philosophy. Minimalist finance is about intentionality. It is the practice of aligning your spending with your deepest values. When you adopt this mindset, you stop being a passive consumer and start becoming a conscious architect of your own life. You begin to question every purchase, asking yourself, does this item serve a specific, essential function? Does it add value to my life, or is it just another anchor? If it doesn't serve a purpose, it has no business being in your home or in your budget. Start by auditing your life. Go through your home and be brutally honest about what you actually use. If you haven't touched it in a year, it's not an asset, it's a liability. Sell it, donate it, or discard it. The goal is to create a space that allows you to breathe. As you clear the physical clutter, you will find that the mental fog begins to lift. You will start to see the money you were previously leaking on maintenance, storage, and mindless replacements staying in your pocket. This is the birth of your new financial foundation. Now, look at your monthly budget with the same ruthless honesty. Cut the subscriptions that you don't watch. Cancel the memberships you don't use. Stop chasing the latest tech upgrades when your current devices work perfectly fine. This isn't about deprivation. It's about redirection. You're taking the resources that were previously wasted on stuff and funneling them into your freedom fund. Every time you refrain from an impulsive purchase, visualize the money moving from a fleeting pleasure into a permanent asset that works for you while you sleep. Embrace the concept of stealth wealth. There is a profound power in living a life that looks modest on the outside while being incredibly wealthy on the inside. When you don't feel the need to broadcast your status through material goods, you stop being a target for social comparison. You become immune to the keeping up with the Joneses trap, because you realize the Joneses are likely just as stressed and broke as you used to be. You gain the freedom to define your own version of success, unburdened by the expectations of people who don't care about your long-term well-being. As you begin to build this minimalist financial life, notice how your stress levels drop. You no longer worry about the next credit card bill because you aren't buying things you can't afford. You no longer fear a sudden job loss because your baseline expenses are low and your savings are growing. You have built a buffer between yourself and the volatility of the world. This is not just a change in your bank account, it is a fundamental shift in your relationship with the world around you. You are moving from a state of scarcity and consumption to a state of abundance and investment. Remember that every item you own is a commitment of your future time. If you buy a luxury car, you are committing to years of payments, insurance, and maintenance. If you buy a smaller, reliable vehicle, you're buying back those years. Minimalism is the art of buying back your time. Time is the only resource you cannot earn more of, so why would you trade it for objects that lose their value the moment you bring them home? When you value your time more than your status, your financial decisions will automatically become smarter, sharper, and more aligned with your ultimate goal of total independence. Stop waiting for the right time to get your finances in order. The right time is right now. You don't need a higher salary to start being a minimalist, you need a change in perspective. Even if you're in debt, the principles apply. By cutting the non-essentials, you can accelerate your debt repayment, freeing yourself from the shackles of interest and the psychological burden of owing money to others. Every dollar you pay off is a step toward a life where you are finally the master of your own destiny. Think of your future self. What kind of life do you want them to have? Do you want them to be stressed, surrounded by junk, and tied to a desk they despise? Or do you want them to be free to travel, create, and spend their days doing what they love? The choices you make today are the blueprints for that future. Minimalism is the most effective tool you have to ensure that your future is defined by freedom rather than obligation. It is a quiet revolution that starts with a single decision to say no to the unnecessary. As you walk through your home, look at the items that remain. Let them be things that truly serve you, things that bring you genuine joy or fulfill a necessary function. Everything else is just noise. The silence that fills the space where your clutter used to be is not empty. It is full of potential. It is the space where your new life will grow. You are no longer defined by what you have, but by what you have chosen to let go of. You have taken control of the narrative, and for the first time you're writing a story of wealth that is truly your own. Finally, understand that this is a continuous process. Minimalism is not a destination you arrive at, it is a practice you maintain. Every day the world will try to sell you more things, promising you happiness in exchange for your hard-earned money. You must remain vigilant, stay focused on your why, keep your eyes on the goal of independence. The path to wealth is not paved with more, it is paved with less. It is found in the simplicity of a life well lived, where your possessions are tools, not masters. You are now equipped with the mindset to break the cycle. The clutter is gone, the anchors are lifted, and your future is wide open. It is time to start building your legacy, one intentional decision at a time.